Previously, I looked like the mayor of Whoville, and now I'm groomed. I did sleep with product in my hair last night, though, so nobody's perfect. Hello, and good day, fellow adventurers. My name is J.K.Winders, but you can call me J.K. Today, I'm approaching the end of two grand journeys. One, the renovation of my trusty adventure mobile and mobile home, Barnabas. And two, the story of how I got to where I am now, renovating my trusty adventure mobile and roaming home, Barnabas. And if you've missed the two previous parts of this epic saga, I encourage you to go back, watch both of them so that you're all caught up for when I get back into the story in 3, 2, 1. In summer of 2018, while I'm on an extended work trip in Europe, my parents come up with the bold decision to buy an RV and make the transition to full-time life on the road. To which I promptly respond, okay. RV living had never been on any of our radars. I mean, less than a decade ago, we were full-on domesticated. But people change. Don't forget that. People change. They spend the next several months turning their 39-foot Class A Gulfstream into a Pinterest paradise. I remember coming back to the States, seeing their rig for the first time, and thinking, okay, this is actually pretty cool. After a full-service makeover of their roaming nest, they finally set out on their grand adventure right before the end of the year. In the first couple months of 2019, I returned to Europe for another long expedition. In the midst of my own travels through Czech Republic, Romania, Bulgaria, Croatia, Montenegro, Austria, and Italy, I'm also keeping up with their travels across the United States. And I am quite jealous. Mind you, I'm in Europe, and I'm jealous. I never said I was a role model. As I finish up this trip through Europe, I start musing with the idea, what if I got an RV? I had done a lot of traveling around the United States, albeit not that glamorous. A lot of car camping, a lot of rest stops, and all the while in the midst of that, bouncing around between sublets and never really having a place to call my own. There was still plenty of traveling around the States that I wanted to do, and I was very open to the idea of doing it in a bold new way. So it was a very easy idea for me to latch onto. What if I got an RV? And so I continued to ask myself, what if I got an RV? So I get back to the States and immediately throw myself into the hunt for my own RV. And I don't know what I'm doing. I only have vague ideas of what I'm particularly looking for. So I start spending most of my time on RV Trader, and I'm looking at different floor plans, different models, just to see what all is out there. There's a lot of RVs out there. The more and more research I do, I start zeroing in on the particulars of what I'm looking for. I visited a couple dealerships just to get inside a couple of ideal models. Really and truly, I only seriously looked at 2 or 3 maybe rigs that I thought could be the one. The first one was in California, and it actually sold before I could even really move forward with it. The second one was in Washington, and you know when you're using any kind of online dating service and you know the profile picture looks good, but then when you see her or him in person and it just doesn't quite match. That happens in the RV trading world as well. But then the third one that I came across was out of a dealership in Denver. It was actually a Cruise America dealership. Cruise America, the rentals. Turns out after 100,000 miles or 3 years, whichever comes first, they retire their rigs and sell them. And these rigs are built to be durable. More importantly, they're built for people that don't really know how to RV that well, like me. And they have hardwood floors, which is super easy to clean paint off of, by the way. So, I hop on the phone with my dad and I'm giving him all the statistics for this particular rig in Denver. And I'm just like, do you think I should buy it? And he's just like, yeah. And guess what happens next?
Did you get you a new vehicle?
I bought me something.
Let's see what it is. What? Make sure the parking brake's off. There he goes. His first little home.
And with the keys to my newly acquired adventure mobile in hand, the next great chapter in my life was just beginning. And just like that, I become trailer trash. I load up everything, or almost everything, into this modest size abode. And in August of 2019, the new adventure begins. Can you guess where the first place I head is? I'll give you one big hint. I mean, where else was I gonna go first? So we start by taking one Grand Teton, and then Yellowstone, and then Mount Rainier, which is also where, less than 2 weeks into my adventure, I pick up my first mouse. It's just past 12:30. I'm hearing some scratching and scurrying around. But I'm a little afraid to investigate. Pray for me. It's now approaching 1:30, and I can confirm that it is a mouse. But if it shows itself again, I'm armed. This is the worst night of my life. Yeah, that was traumatic. But I digress. I spent a few months in Oregon, basking in the lush goodness that is the Pacific Northwest, all the while making big, bold plans for a bright, exciting future. And then COVID-19 came along. Yeah, it's not really ideal to be parked in one place for very long. However, it's given me the time to do all of this and to make better plans. I mean, don't get me wrong, adjusting to this lifestyle has definitely been interesting, to say the least. It's stretched me in some pretty crazy ways. It's turned me into someone that I never expected to become. But it makes me excited about possibilities. Possibilities of places that I can go, of things that I can do, of stories that I can capture. And people ask me all the time, how long are you gonna do this for? And I don't have an answer, because I'm just enjoying it right now. So what next? So that's it. That's my story. That's how I got here. Now, I understand if you listen to that whole spiel about how I got to where I am now, and you're wondering, where do you go from here? I'm not really sure. And I'm okay with that. Because up until this point, my story has been about possibilities and adventure. And it could really take me anywhere. And that's an exciting feeling. It's liberating. Now you know a little bit more about me. You know that I'm ultimately just a kid from Georgia, a visual artist, good Christian boy who just so happens to like a nice stiff drink after a hard day's work. But I actually really like my story. I mean, it's not the most thrilling or epic saga, but it's mine, and I just want to share it. And if you're up for following along, I can guarantee you it's only going to get better from here. There's a lot more story waiting out there for me, and you, and all of us. So cheers to the journey, cheers to finally seeing hard work paying off, and to making life beautiful. I'll see you on the path, my friends. Enjoy the journey.